Welcome back to Booked for Therapy. The music in the background is by Ethel Here, Tone Pictures. I'm Yona Hunt and I will be your host. The next few slides reintroduce the book and final chapter on motivation, so you can go ahead and skip them if you wish. The first book I'm going to be looking at is Dr. Julie Smith's Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? Why choose it as a resource? Dr. Julie Smith is a clinical psychologist and mental health educator. She's known for creating short-form mental health content. The purpose of the book is to provide basic insight into the functioning of our mind and body, along with practical tools for daily mental health well-being. The content focus is a clear and detailed look at how these ideas would be discussed in a therapy session, together with simple step-by-step guidance anyone can follow. The key approach is practical, skills-based methods, where we get to pick the right tool for the challenge, give it time to work, and practice, especially when not needed. Its distinctive element is that it is a toolbox filled to the brim with different tools for different jobs, and it's not a key to a problem-free life, but with some guidance and self-awareness, struggle can build strength. Chapter 9, Big Life Changes, has been matched with PTSD Awareness Day, observed on the 27th of June. The painting in the background is by John Constable, Rainstorm Over the Sea, accompanied by a classical music piece by Ethel Here, Tone Pictures. The power of using metacognition is that it opens up our ability to be accountable to ourselves and to examine the part we play in staying the same or making change. It reveals the big influence that seemingly small behaviors can have, both positive and negative. PTSD Awareness Day is observed on the 27th of June. PTSD and CPTSD, complex PTSD, can affect anyone who has been exposed to trauma, an event or events which provoked fear, helplessness, or horror in response to the threat of injury or death. PTSD and CPTSD can cause a wide variety of physical, mental, and emotional symptoms such as hypervigilance, irrational anger and fear, panic attacks, flashbacks, digestive issues, feeling numb, nightmares, and exhaustion. It is possible for PTSD and CPTSD to be successfully treated with psychotherapies such as EMDR and CBT even many years after the traumatic event occurred, which means it is never too late to seek help. However, people with PTSD and CPTSD are often misdiagnosed as they can develop additional disorders such as depression, substance abuse, problems of memory and cognition, and other problems of physical and mental health. Chapter Summary. The need for change is not always obvious, and the path forward can feel uncertain at times. Transformation begins with understanding. Without clarity, progress can be difficult. The more deeply we explore the issue, the easier it becomes to see the next steps. We begin by reviewing past experiences and how we handled them before. We need to be willing to face the role we might play in maintaining the current situation. Working with a therapist can guide us through this kind of self-exploration. If therapy is not an option, writing reflectively can be a useful alternative. Big life changes. Where do I start? In metacognition, we think about our thoughts. This is a key life skill. It is used in therapy as it helps us reflect and supports change. The core insight is that we cannot change what we cannot understand, whereas the therapy misconception is that therapy is just dwelling on the issues, when in fact it is structured thinking with purpose. Using metacognition starts by looking back and reflecting. And therapy is an invitation to do just that, to reflect on past events. Journaling is also a good starting point as a self-help tool. The purpose of journaling is to reflect on experiences and our reactions to them. The impact of small behaviors is that small actions can have big positive or negative impact. Growth over time is possible because, with practice, we see patterns and cycles more clearly. The power of self awareness is shown in spotting patterns in real time, which gives us the power to choose differently. So, metacognition helps us take accountability and understand our role in change or stagnation. Change only what you can make sense of. Because of our desire to change, we can go through a period of strain and discomfort, hopefully followed by our ability to understand the change when we pinpoint specific change needed. However, before we initiate the change, we often are not sure why or how we can begin to make things better. Using metacognition for big changes, using thoughts about thoughts for change. In an unreflective state, we lack awareness of our own thoughts. That's why in counseling or therapy, we discuss past events with our therapist. Self help journaling supports us to reflect on our experiences and responses. When we reflect on our thoughts, we analyze the impact they have on our experience. And as a result, this reflective state brings us increased awareness of our own thoughts. Unlocking change with metacognition. Thoughts about thoughts for change. We go from unexamined behaviors by practicing metacognition to desired changes. In journaling, we notice the small behaviors and patterns. This in turn helps us build awareness where we spot these patterns and cycles in the moment, which again in turn helps us to choose differently by making positive changes consciously. Under the Try This section in the book, we are invited to use the following reflections to deepen our understanding of the challenges we're navigating and to develop our ability to observe our own mental processes. Refer to any meaningful situations that took place. What went through your mind during that time? In what ways did those thoughts shape your emotional experience? What feelings arose in response? Can you identify what brought those feelings on? What impulses or inclinations did you notice? How did you act in response to those emotions? And what happened as a result of your reaction? That's all from me for now. I hope you have found the information in this short chapter useful to put into practice. The artist and composer, as always, are both celebrated this month of June. I will return to cover the other two chapters from this part of the book shortly. See you soon.